I've been keeping this a secret for so long, and I think it's finally time to say what I need to say. I had a childhood. If you're watching this video or have watched my channel in the past, I've mostly been talking about things I've recently played or things I've enjoyed in the past. Whether it be movies or video games, most of it's been recent things I've enjoyed. But you know what I haven't talked about a lot? My childhood. I've done it a couple times here and there, the most recent example being my Kirby's Epic Yarn review where I revisited a childhood game, and it turned out it wasn't as good as I remember. But one thing for sure I have never talked about is toys, and for good reason as well. I'll never get into that. More specifically, the toys I'm talking about are Legos. Legos were one of the big things that built my childhood when I was a wee lad. I of course have memories of playing with Duplos as a younger child, but when I also got older, I remember getting Lego sets from Space Police, Ninjago. Remember when Lego made board games and you had to build the board games? Or how about when they partnered with Nickelodeon to make Lego sets of SpongeBob, only for the deal to expire and be given to Mega Bloks in 2014? But there's one Lego series that has always caught my eye, and that was Mixels. Now you might be thinking to yourself and wondering, what the fuck are Mixels? Mixels were these sort of Lego creatures you built, but you can build them in any other way you'd like, not just the way they are. You can mix and match them as well, allowing for endless combinations to be made. There are also these special combinations called maxes, where you need to buy all 3 sets in a tribe in order to make the max. Yes, the groups are called tribes. I don't know why they called them tribes instead of groups. Anyways, moving on. Now you might be wondering, where did I first hear about Mixels? Well, my family thought it'd be a good idea to go to the theaters one day to watch the Lego movie in 2014. Usually before trailers they play all sorts of commercials, and one of the commercials just so happened to be an advertisement for Mixels. I think it was of Seismo and Zorch getting this thing called the Cocoa Apple, and they used a thing known as a qubit to try and get it? That was enough for a 9-year-old me to be sold on the line. And one day I was able to get my very first Mixel. I think it was Zorch or one of the electric guys as well. What are they, Electroids? Anyways, not only did the Mixels have a line of Legos, they also had a series of shorts that ran on Cartoon Network, mostly during commercial breaks. So, as a kid, I was always enthralled by the idea of new Mixels being added, and in June, we'd get the second series of Mixels. Sure, Series 1 was pretty basic. We got the Infernites, the Cragsters, and as I stated before, the Electroids, but with Series 2, we'd get 3 more tribes. Yes, that's what each group is called. I don't know why, like I said before. For this series, we got the Frosticons, the Fang Gang, and the Flexers. More animated shorts would air during this time, featuring the Series 2 Mixels, but it wouldn't be until Series 3 in September when we'd get an actual special. Series 3 featured 3 more tribes, the Glorp Corp, a slime-themed tribe, the Spikels, a spike-themed tribe, and the Whiztastics, a magic-themed tribe. This was also the series where we'd get the first half-hour special, though replace half-hour special with short compilation with 2 brand new shorts packed in, and you'd get the Mixels Mixed Up Special. The 2 shorts that debuted in the special were Merp Romp, featuring the Series 3 Mixels, and the big one we've all been waiting for, the biggest and most epic Mixels minisode ever. Turns out it was actually the first one in the compilation, so anticlimactic much? The shorts are good, don't get me wrong, it's just, for being called the biggest and most epic Mixels minisode ever, you think they'd play it at the end, but no, I mean, though it kinda makes sense. Merprompt goes more in depth with the Series 3 Mixels, while in the big minisode, they're more so at the end of the short. Huh. After that was pretty much it for Mixels. But that was only one season. Season 2 started in 2015 and featured 3 new series, with the first one, Series 4, including the Orbitons, the Glowkeys, and a rehash of the Infernites. I don't know why, they're just there, I guess. Hopefully this doesn't foreshadow something. Mixels Moon Madness released as the first episode of Season 2, and it was alright. It does of course lead into a story arc and introduces us to a new character that we'll get into eventually, but for being the first full half-hour special, I kinda liked the special. Of course this would lead to the downfall of Mixels eventually, but let's savor the moments we have, shall we? Series 5 and 6 debut, with Series 5 featuring the Clinkers, Elixirs, and a rehash of the Frosticons, and with Series 6 featuring Gueldos, Munchos, and a rehash of the Glorpcorp. Cool! But then, it hit me like a bus. Were they running out of ideas? Only one way to find out. Season 2 so far has overall been really empty. No shorts and only 1.5 hour special. What could be worse than only 1.5 hour special? I know, 2 half-hour specials. A Quest for the Lost Mixmajig aired on September 26, 2015 on Cartoon Network. The special centers around the Mixels going on a quest to find the thing that doesn't even exist. It was fabricated by an evil group known as the Nixels. Is it too late to talk about them? Nixels are these monochrome creatures who don't like the Mixels and want to take away their fun for whatever reason. Anyways, in this special, the Nixels, led by King Nixel, create a hoax of a powerful item to get the Mixels to go against each other. It works. For the most part, their plan eventually backfires and the Nixels are banished. At the end of the special, a new location is revealed known as Mixopolis, leading to more adventures with the Mixels. This, my friends, would eventually lead into the downfall of the series. The third half-hour special of the show, known as Every Night Has Its Day, aired on Cartoon Network on March 5th, 2016. And when I first watched it, I'm sorry, this is such a nothing burger special. Compared to the other specials, hell, even compared to the shorts, I didn't like this special. I didn't even know if I was getting older or not. I just remember I actively disliked this special. So much that I stopped caring about the Mixels and focused on other things. Series 7 introduces us to 3 new tribes, the MCPD, the Medievals, and the Mixies. Creative naming there, guys. Keep it up. And finally, Series 8 and 9 were released in June of 2016 and September of 2016 respectively. Series 8 had the MCFD, Pirates, and the Medics, with Series 9 having the Trashos, Ninjas, and the Newsers. The final special and the final episode of Mixels overall aired in October of 2016, which I watched exclusively for this video, and it turns out most of the Mixels from Series 8 and 9 aren't even present. It's a fine special. I still think Every Night Has Its Day is worse, but it's really not a good way for the show to go out, I'll be honest. But that just led from one question to another. Where did the Mixels go? How did they reproduce? What happened to the Mixels world after being completely destroyed in a quest for the lost Mixamajig? Were the Mixels ever any good? Why were they so important to me? Why were they so important to me? Rant aside, I think that the Mixels were important to me for a number of reasons. They are visually appealing to me for one, they tickled a spot in my brain that no other piece of media could have ever done, and let's not forget, I indulged in media for the first time, making fan content and such. I guess it was probably for the better that I grew out of my Mixels phase, even though I still consider it a guilty pleasure from time to time. But I can't deny that it was just a fad that not a lot of people cared about. As it probably might have been, I think I was the only one who even cared about the Mixels, and that made me feel weird. But honestly, I was just happy to find something I can enjoy on my own, even if it meant nobody else would indulge in it, or even not know what the hell I was talking about for the most part. In fact, I would always look for Mixels fan content on the internet. Animations, YouTube poop, fan art, fan OCs. There were even times where I tried to find other YouTubers talking about Mixels, but much to my dismay, no. I even tried my hand at making my own Mixels inspired OCs. I remember there was a Bubble Tribe, and that was pretty much all I can remember. I think there was more, but they're all lost to time. It even went as far as the series inspiring my first username on Scratch. I used Scratch as a kid. What the fuck was I cooking? I never hated Mixels. I just got older, and with that being said, thinking about all those memories now is bittersweet. It's not easy letting go of a long-time obsession, but Mixels as a series is 10 years old, and I'm 10 years older than I was back in 2014. I'm 20 goddamn years old. What do you want me to say? Truth be told, I don't think there'll ever be a series that I'll obsess over like Mixels. The inspiration it had on me as a child and even now will always stick with me. Whatever happens with Mixels, whether people love it or hate it, I'm honestly glad it's not as forgotten as I remember. And I hope that if you're watching this video, I hope you too can remember Mixels as a series. Even if you never liked it, that's fine. I just hope it's not lost in time forever. That being said, if there's a cartoon you like that nobody else liked or cared about or even knew about, then I'd be happy to hear about it. It's always fun to talk about your favorite obscure series from the mid-2010s with others, and Mixels is no exception. And that's why I don't think there'll ever be another series like Mixels. It came and went, but for the 7 Mixels fans out there, it was enough to satisfy us. Except the 2016 specials were kinda dog shit though, you can't deny that.